Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. Coming live. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted by something on Instagram. Okay. I'm doing two things at once. Okay. And everything's gonna cool down. Loved and be loved. Okay. All right. So I'm checking in my Instagram and YouTube, but peace and love to both platforms. I'm gonna have to merge this together somehow so I'm not going so back and forth. Peace and love, y'all. Coming in. Feel free to hop over onto the YouTube. That's where I'm trying to move everybody. So if you are on here on Instagram, go ahead and hop over to the YouTube live. The YouTube page is called Soul Powerful. That's SOL Powerful. Okay. SOL Powerful. And I'm going to put it here in the chat. Soul Powerful on YouTube, where you'll find my content and meditations. The multitasking is on a whole nother level right now. Okay. I'm doing my best. Peace and love. Okay. I see some people coming over to YouTube. So come on over to YouTube. That is where it's at. And I will do an extended version of this live on YouTube as well. We are talking about the movie, They Clone Tyrone. I mean, since I've seen it, I was like, oh, I gotta go live about this. But I've been doing other stuff. Okay. But now is the time. Okay. I got time tonight. Even though it's already 10:01. It's at 10:01 Gateway. Okay. Um, okay. Let me finish writing this. Say peace and love, everybody on YouTube. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how you're feeling. Share the live. Let people know what we're talking about. I also saw a question come in from what I posted on my story. Um, so I'm gonna answer this question and then we'll get into the topic of today's live, which is all about They Clone Tyrone. The question is, well, actually, before I dive into this question, I just want us to ground ourselves, breathe, right? This is one of the things I was talking to one of my clients about earlier today. Before we hop into something, take a moment to honor the moment, to honor oneself, to honor one's ancestors, all the energies that are around you, supporting you. Yes, and you're okay. And yes, I see your question about my relationship status. I am grateful for the manifestation of a relationship. Okay. Okay, so just to acknowledge all the beautiful energies in the room, to acknowledge the love, to acknowledge all the moments that brought us to be here in this space, this time. Congratulations for being here. And in this moment, we can allow our minds to be open. We can be receptive to, what is to come up out of this conversation. Now, to answer the beautiful question that I was posed by it's the discipline for me, Instagram. The question is, how can we be love and be loved kindred? Kindred. Not quite sure about that part. But how can we be love and be loved kinder, maybe? Kindred. I don't know if you mean like kindred spirits or kinder. If you're watching, feel free to. But just to answer the question about how can we be love and be loved, well, simply just choose, right? We choose to align ourselves with the energy of love, right? Maybe the energy of love might seem foreign to you. So maybe align yourself with an energy of peace, of support, of protection, of admiration. Maybe aligning yourself with one of those energies, peace and love, might be easier for you to align yourself with first. If identifying with love is challenging. For many of us, it is. For many of us, we've only known hate, peace, and love, y'all. So we haven't really known, and we've known fear, so we haven't known love. Um, what I believe is when we know how to love ourselves, we recognize ourselves as love, then it's easier for us to attract loving people into our lives and to be able to receive that love, right? Because if someone's trying to give you love and you're not in the space to receive it because you don't believe that love, then you're going to block it and you're only going to fixate on all the evidence of there being a lack of love because that is your belief, right? Peace and love. Oh, thank you. Asante Sana for the compliment. Okay. So I'm gonna leave that with that. I hope that answered the question about how can we be loved and be loved. Is you just choose to be loved. If you can't go to love, then go to something closer like peace, curiosity, affirmation, or appreciation. Go to those emotions, and then also treat yourself like the God that you are. Okay. Treat yourself like the source of love that is manifested through you that you are. Return to your nature. And that is a perfect way to bring us to today's topic, which is about the show or the movie They Clone Tyrone. If you haven't watched it, okay, go watch it and then come watch this live later. It's going to be on YouTube as well as maybe on my Instagram, but definitely going to be saved on YouTube. So if you haven't watched the movie They Clone Tyrone, go watch it unless you don't care about spoilers. Oh, good. Yes, let's actually, yes. Thank you for reminding us, Goldie. Let's take some breaths because we did acknowledge the moment, but let's take some breaths. Goldie said she watched it last night. Yes. Okay. So we can send some love to our sister Goldie. She's had a day. Okay. It's been a character building day. We have no bad days. We have character building days. Okay. So let's send her some love in this moment through our breath. Okay, so I want everybody who's watching live or on the replay to take a deep breath in. And then as you release that breath, I want you to send that sense of relief to our sister Goldie, sending her that sense of relief and peace. Feel that coming in from everybody, Goldie. Let's everybody take another deep breath in and surround this mother, this goddess, this teacher, and community leader in your love. She's doing amazing things where she is. Sending her love, sending her peace, sending her support. So let's do one more, y'all, because I like the number 3. Breathing in nice and deep. And showering this goddess in your love, as well as receiving that yourself. Ashe. Namaste. Okay, I hope you felt our love, Miss Goldie. Um, Yes, and feel free if you're having tough times, you need to speak somebody to someone. You know you have me. This is why I created the Soul Powerful Wellness Collective. It's so that way people can have access to me. Okay. And it's only $33 a month, 4 sessions a month on Saturdays. So it's available to many 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. East Africa time. Okay. And this past week, another brother, he had a complete one-on-one session with me. So if you've been wanting to work with me directly, you need some additional support, you need pick-me-ups, you need places to hold you accountable for meditation, whatever it is, join the Wellness Collective. There's tons of resources being dropped in there daily to assist you in your life and to guide you. Um, yeah. And also, everybody who's a member of the Wellness Collective, you get discounts on things that I'm doing, including retreats. So it's great to be able to get a discount on retreats that we have here in Africa or anywhere else that I'm traveling in the world at that moment. Okay. So, yes, now that we breathed and now that Goddess Goldie has received the love and support that we sent her, let's get into it. Okay. So, like I said, if you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. If you don't care about the spoilers, then stay here. But okay. So what I want to start, beautiful movie, you know, the artistry, it was very dynamic and the levels of um there's just various levels to this movie. Some that most people picked up on, some that only few people were able to pick up on. But I wanted to bring certain things to your attention because after I watched this movie, I was just like, I feel like I'm not saying enough about what is real and really happening in America, in this world. Okay. you all know that I left America for whatever reason. I don't know how people know, but I left America because I knew as that place is the way it is, no matter where you go, and I lived in some pretty peaceful places in America, there are certain things that you cannot avoid. There are certain toxins you can't avoid. There's tons of things, right? I won't get into that part, but I personally left America because I was on and still am. I am on a life journey, a path of whatever, of spiritual well-being, spiritual alignment, peace, right? Because I understand that in the energy of peace and love, all things are possible. So, in my pursuit of a lifestyle that created an energy within me that will make all things possible for myself and for others, I decided to remove myself from America because of that reason. I've planted myself in Dar es Salaam, the city of peace. Okay. And that's what I received here. And I see it, I feel it, I experience it, I see it in other people who I connect with. It's happening. So I'm glad that I made that decision to leave America, and as we're all witnessing a lot more things happen, right? A lot of things that are no longer being hidden. A lot of things you're seeing in the music videos, in the policies that they're pushing in politics and government, right? You're seeing that a lot of stuff is really coming to light. And ultimately, all these things are restricting and oppressing the people, and ultimately pulling you away from what is natural, what is real, from your awakening, your conscious evolution, your connection to love and source of peace and having your heaven on earth. And this movie, They Clone Tyrone, reveals a lot of those measures that they have taken. And those things in that movie are what I consciously removed myself from, plus other things that weren't mentioned in the movie. Um, by being here in Africa. So I want to say that I hope that when people watch that movie, they'll realize that they don't have to live that way. They don't have to experience the challenges of living in America. You don't have to. And I know that everyone's circumstances are different. I'm a single, woman, so I was able to just up and go. Um, but if your heart is there, the universe will conspire to make it happen for you. I know plenty of families out here who came out here with a dollar to their name, and because they walked in faith, things worked out. Okay. Now, I'm not saying it happens to everybody, but I'm saying don't let the circumstances that you're currently looking at dictate what is possible for you, because all things are possible for you. So if it is within your spirit to leave America, know that you are supported by the Most High in doing so. You never want to let fear dictate your actions. You want to let faith dictate your actions. You want to let love dictate your actions. Otherwise, you're operating in another energy that I know y'all don't want to be operating in. Okay, you're worshiping something. You're worshiping fear just by giving into fear. You are worshiping fear, synonymous with what we might consider evil or the devil, or, you know, right? You got love on one side, you got love over here, and you got fear over here. You need to choose which one you want to operate in. Now, although many people have watched or are going to be watching this movie, They Clone Tyrone, many people still won't receive it. I posted a video, a clip. I don't know the brother who was speaking, but I posted a clip on my story, and this brother was talking about cognitive dissonance, and that he's a music artist, and someone had mentioned the term and defined it. He was saying how that was the first time he heard that term, and that basically, if I were to break cognitive dissonance down to you, it's basically when information is presented to you and it doesn't agree with your ego, so your ego will try to misallude you to around acknowledging the truth of that statement. Um, so, for example, um, let's say someone says, "Sis, um, you need to lose some weight for your health. I see the current health conditions you're having. I see this happening. I think your weight could be one of the factors that could be affecting that. So I think getting your body to a healthy weight would be helpful." Now, although someone could acknowledge the fact that yes, they're having these health problems and they're feeling sluggish, it they might project a sense of defense, right? Or they could say, well, my mother's been eating this way and blah blah blah. Like, I'm fine, I'm healthy, I feel good, I can move, right? They're not going to acknowledge the truth of that matter if it doesn't agree with what their ego wants to receive at the moment. So many of us have watched this movie, They Clone Tyrone, and feel free to hop over onto my YouTube, Soul Powerful. That's SOL Powerful. It's pinned in the comments for everybody on Instagram. Hop over to YouTube because that's where I'm going to do an extended version of this live. Um, so, yeah, so the cognitive dissonance piece, right? And I know that many people are going to watch the movie They Clone Tyrone, and because of their ego is not ready to receive the truths of this movie, it will see it as fantasy. Even though there's some evidence that you've seen in real life to support these things, you will push it off as fantasy. You won't take action. And that's the unfortunate part. And that's why they can put out information like this because they know, right? When I say though, I mean the small group of people who ultimately have a chokehold on the media and who are conditioning you to live in fear and lack and limitation. I'm talking about those people, right? We know it's there. Um, it's pretty obvious. I'm going to make it obvious as I go throughout this live. And I definitely want to hear from y'all your comments on the movie, what you learned, and also my perspectives on it. Okay, so where to start? Where to start? So let's just start with the first part about they put um, they make this movie so in your face, right? They made it so obvious all the different ways. Like the storyline of the movie, of this fantasy movie, is that these three people have discovered that the some group is in collusion to oppress the Black community, and they are constantly observing them and doing tests on them. They're putting poisons in their products. They're putting negative frequencies in their music. All this stuff to affect this group of people. And also, then there's the cloning part. But let's focus. I think that's the cloning part. That's a serious matter. But that's a little there. Okay. Let's focus on that part. Just the fact that in this story, they discovered that this group of people is studying them and they're manipulating them through their food, through their music, through their environments, all these different ways. Okay. So let's just focus on that part. Okay. Um, they made that very obvious in the movie. They made that very obvious. And the reason why they made these things so obvious is because by showing you all this stuff on a movie in media form, we've been conditioned to receive media and stuff like this as fantasy, right? When we look, these are supposed to be made up stories, right? So we are examining something that many of us can, if we step back, we were like, huh, some of this stuff is real, right? Because I know many of you who've said you've stopped listening to trap music when you're driving, right? Because when you listen to trap music while you're driving, you're more likely to have road rage, right? So you've changed the type of music that you listen to in your car. Um, Many of you have acknowledged the fact that when you changed your diet, you felt healthier, stronger, weller. You came off your medications, right? Um, there's a lot of things that I've heard people talk to me about that they put in this movie that many people are going to look at and see as fantasy because it's in a movie format. But I want to let you know it's not fantasy, okay? It's not fantasy. And I'm going to try to remember all the things in the movie, but drop them in here too. So that way I can make sure I discuss all the points, all the things that they were bringing to our attention. And I'm going to scroll through the comments real quick. Goldie said the three people that society has deemed as less than that specific characters are important. Yes, yes. So yeah, like I said, there are layers to this. There are layers to it. I'm gonna have to watch. I've already watched it twice, but I'm gonna have to watch it again because even the colors they're wearing at different times is symbolism too. So I'm gonna have to just like watch it and review it. Um, but yeah, we have the thug, the hoe, and the pimp, right? That's what they try to portray our society to be, or the drug dealer. Um, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right. So that this is who they portray us to the world to be. Okay. Um, okay, so let's start with the music. Okay, let's just start there. Let's start with the music. Okay. So there was a scene in the movie in which they've come down, they see that there's some experimenting going on with some people, and oh gosh, another scene just popped up. Um, and there's these two guys fighting because they're playing some trap music, they're fighting, and then they play a song called, Give Me a Hug, something like that. And immediately the people change. Now, this is completely true. We know this already. One, you know that based off the music you listen to, it's going to influence your mood, right? And we also know that there are certain people who have a chokehold on the music industry and fund music that destroys us, right? They fund all the music that is non-conscious, that's non-uplifting, and they propel those artists to the top of the charts. So make sure that's the information that we're receiving, right? We already know that part. Right? We know that they're pushing content that's not good for us, for the Black community, for people as a whole, right? They're pushing content that's not good for us. Now, on a deeper level, they are also playing these music and creating this music in certain frequencies that manipulate your psychology. So one frequency energy vibrates with sadness. So we're going to put you into a sadness, right? This one is going to be uplifting. This one is going to make you angry. This one's going to make you whatever it is, afraid, right? You know, these frequencies are being manipulated all the time. So even if you're listening to an uplifting, or oftentimes with many of these pop songs, you listen to the original version or you listen to the lyrics and it's very sad. So you're listening to you're like reciting these very sad lyrics, and even though it's an uplifting beat, the frequency of that beat and the content of that song is very poisoning to you. Okay, so that was one of the things they talked about. So applying that to our lives, let's listen to things that are tuned into a 432 frequency hertz, right? That's what's going to support your well-being versus the 808s, right? It's very fear-based, it's very defensive. And that's what's in a lot of hip hop music. So just being mindful of that. The other thing that they showed was their reaction to the food. They noticed that the food made them just really passive, not really care, just goofy, acting, dancing and just doing, dumb stuff while they're eating, right? Made them so giddy, so addicted to it. And again, this is reflecting the truth of the matter that there are certain things in the food that make you act a certain way. I mentioned in the live yesterday that there are certain foods that we have out here in Africa, same brand, same thing, right? You get you a bag of cheese Doritos. The cheese Doritos here have different ingredients than the cheese Doritos in America. And that is because there are certain chemicals permitted to be in the food in America that are deemed dangerous and known to be dangerous by everybody else, by everybody. It's just that America allows it for whatever reason. Other countries don't allow these toxins into their food for whatever reason. Okay. So realizing that the foods that you're eating have chemicals in them that will alter your mind, your psychology, and your physical well being. And your physical well being is also altering your psychology. Okay. Now, even for those of us who have started to grow our food, you still need to be mindful of what types of seeds you're utilizing because everything is embedded in the DNA. And that's why it's so deep. And it's like, you can't really avoid everything. So sometimes you just got to leave the place. But anyways, right? So just if you are going to shop organic, right? Fewer chemicals, fewer manipulations of the genetics of the food. Go for the seeded foods. Eat primarily fresh stuff. That way it's less likely to be processed or fake, right? A lot of these fake eggs are coming out now, fake meats, right? And even you think it's meat, they're selling it as meat, but it really was never meat. So the safest way to make sure that what you're eating is what you're eating is to actually see it alive and bring it to your table. Okay, whether it's plants or animals, right? You should know the energy that's going into your food. it makes a big difference. Okay. Um, and one of the things that a big practice is when you are preparing your food, um, give thanks, give appreciation for the living beings that are now becoming one with you. And, put energy of protection over that food. Let it be, speak affirmations over that food so that way it's alchemized into something beautiful and beneficial for you. Okay. And obviously, if you're going out to eat, you don't really have that control. So it's encouraging us to come home and cook our meals at home. So that way you know exactly what's going into it and what energy, what physically and energetically is going into it. Sometimes organic even are just fluff. They use so true indeed. What you say? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes they don't say organic and it's not. And also watch the labels because I was at Kroger and I was in the organic. I grabbed me some organic fruits, what I thought it was. And then I checked the sticker and it was the 404, the four number. And I'm like, organic is a 9. Okay. So how y'all gonna have these regular stuff over here? Like luckily I checked, but some people might not check. But yeah, it's always best at this point to grow your own. Make sure the soil is good, make sure your water supply is good. See, like you can find that stuff online about what is happening in your local water. So that way you know when you should and should not be in it. Um, Absolutely. Shout out to her. Yes. If I think you're talking about the same woman, melanin maintenance. Unless it's a male. Shout out to him. Shout out to her. Shout out to him for being their own farmer. Okay, so we had the music, the food, um, the church. Yeah. Y'all saw they went into the church and they had the white Jesus there. You also saw that they were taking communion, drinking the grape drink, which we know that's also was coming from the same lab with the same chemicals to make us just, want to dance and jig and not take anything seriously. Um, so yeah, so we had the church scene. Now, with regards to religion, um, we've been misled there. For those who identify as Christian, I don't know about other faiths because I've never been there. Okay, all I know is Christianity. I grew up in the South. Okay, and the issue with Christianity for me is I don't know if I've ever had a preacher tell me that I was God and that God incarnated in me and that I'm an expression of God. What I've traditionally been exposed to in churches was condemnation of others, um, to fear God, that if I don't accept Jesus as my Christ and Savior, then I'm condemned. And for me personally, through my spiritual journey, that don't feel like the energy of the most high, the most God, the source that I serve, that I get to connect with, that allows me to experience a life of peace and love and understanding and self compassion. It's it's a different feeling. In my personal development journey, a part of that early in the phase, it took me into church because I thought that, okay, this is a way to, you know, get right. And it helped in that it gave me discipline and it gave me an idea of surrendering to a higher power, but it didn't give me that sense of true love and understanding that I have now that I've left. And I didn't necessarily rely on this book, but I relied on my lived experience to show me what God was and what living a life um, aligned with goodness is like. So I say all this to say that within that church scene, um, not only are they drinking the Kool-Aid, but they're also and even the sermon he was giving was talking about all these like hardships. And it's like, keep the hope alive and keep praying to God. No, you need to get out of the circumstances. You need to change your behaviors. Then things will change for you, right? You can't just keep expecting this outside entity to do everything for you and then just keep coming back to church to refill your cup, and then you go out into the world, get beat down again because you have no real skills, and then you come to church and you just, I'm gonna keep hoping, and it's like, because I'm gonna go to heaven. No, heaven is here on earth. You're supposed to be experiencing heaven. You're not supposed to be suffering. Even through moments of challenge, that's not a time to suffer. It's a time to level up, to receive the blessing of getting stronger. So that was my breakdown of that scene. What else was happening in the church scene? Yeah, yes, that's the part. The church teaches us to go to the Father, right? The church is teaching us that there's this masculine figure, and many of us have an implanted in our head, an elderly old white man, right? Many of us, that's who's been implanted in our head of who God is. That's who's been implanted in our head of who Yahshua, Jesus was, is a white guy. Many of us, when we close our eyes, think of Jesus, right? Think about a white guy, or you think of God, think about this old for time kind of figure. That was implanted in us intentionally to separate us from truth. Because again, this is that cognitive diffusion, cognitive dissociation thing, right? How am I supposed to believe that God is within me when I've been taught all that God is this man in the sky? It's going to be very hard to. You have to feel your way. You have to break through the logic, what you think is logic because of what they taught you, and go within, and then you will find what you need to find. All the answers you need are within. That is how you connect to source, is by dissolving this world and going back to the beginning where there's nothingness. This world is so much, so much, so much, so much, so much. But when we can surrender into the nothingness and we can allow ourselves to observe, now truth can speak to us and not the chatters of this world. Asante Sana. I appreciate the compliments, y'all. Um, Goldie said they all started dancing after the communion, and the lab was right under the altar. I know as a church kid, the altar calls are important because that's when you get saved. Absolutely. You be crying on your way up to the altar. Just, I can't take it anymore. Oh, I'm such a sinner. I'm so bad. I'm such a bad person. Just take this badness out of me. Versus realizing that as you are, it's a duality, okay? Just do better, right? You have all the control to do better. But you are loved. You are still loved always because you are love. Okay. And okay, so that's another point. All these different places that they were observing, right? Y'all notice the places that they were observing, right? And realize that that's the place that they have the tightest grip on your mind when you enter those spaces, the strip club, the church. What were the other places that they had cameras on? Always leaving out the feminine aspect. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Thank you. The intricate zona. Y'all, please bear with me, okay? My dyslexia is being triggered. Okay. Um, but yeah, the Christianity, how it's taught in the West, removes the feminine aspect. It's the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, I mean, you could say that's, masculine and feminine, the duality, but we don't know. But they're talking about Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. When there is mention of woman in the Bible, we have the Virgin Mary versus her naturally conceiving a child. We have the maiden, right? We have Eve, and these are just the ones that, like I said, I didn't really get into. I grew up in Christianity, but I didn't read the Bible like that, so I don't know about the other woman in there. But I can pretty sure guess that these are the women that most people, the general public, knows. I think it's a smaller portion of society that actually knows the Bible front and back to know who all is really in there. Um, but yes, the feminine aspect is removed, and that's an issue, right? Because we have to realize that Source ain't no man. Source is not no man. Yes, Mary Madeline. Madeline. Yes, exactly. And we know who she was. Okay. Which even though I feel like hoes play a very important role in that they are giving these men love when these men need it. Okay. And they also know how to she used, which was very strategic, okay? She used her feminine in the movie, the woman who's playing the hoe. She used her feminine allure to get very valuable information. Because women, we have so much power, it's just that we just give that power out so much. But they say that all the wars are about women, right? Because you need the woman to procreate. And if you want to be a conqueror, you need people, right? And the woman is the portal for the people to come through. So women are so valuable, right? But it's often the society is minimizing. It starts with the religion. The religion minimized the value of the woman, and now we see that reflected in society. Yes, yes. Uh-huh. Uh-oh. We're reconnected. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay, so we had what was the other things that happened? We had the food, the music, the churches. What else was there? The supervision, just the fact that there's just this supervision. Okay, just know that um, we already know that we're being watched, right? We talk about something with a friend, and then now we have ads popping up on our phone. Um, we also know that there are people who are posing as us and infiltrating our communities and maybe possibly wreaking havoc in our communities because they look like they're one of us, and then they're able to blame someone else for a crime that they never committed because someone saw them there. Okay, so we know that they're watching us, and we know that people are infiltrating the communities. The perm, yes. Thank you, Goldie. Yes, the perm part. Okay. Are y'all seeing all these lawsuits that are finally coming out about if you were a black woman and you got a perm, you're eligible for these lawsuits. Yeah. I mean, we have to realize our skin is our biggest organ. Our skin is always absorbing everything that goes on it. This is why I use natural products because if you want to purify your body, you can't be eating fruits and vegetables, but then be putting on whatever perfume and Dove soap and Vaseline and hair dyes and perms and all these facial cleansers and all stuff. That those are chemicals too. So there's no point in you eating organic if you're putting all these chemicals in yourself based off what you put on your skin, what you're washing your clothes with, what you're cleaning your house with. Okay, so these things are seeping in and they're killing us. They're lowering your ability to really thrive. And some of you might be like, well, I'm healthy. And I get it. Our thank goodness our bodies are so strong and so intelligent that they're able to withstand. But what many of us think is living and health is far below our potential. We have we have so much abilities. We only are using five of our senses, only five of them. We have more, and we're only using a small portion of our brain capacity. We want to ask ourselves why. Like, why would we have all these things if we're not utilizing them? And it's because we could be utilizing them, but we're just constantly being bombarded by all these different toxins that those parts of ourselves can't even operate. But you can definitely begin to operate in those by purifying your vessel and protecting your vessel. Okay, so like you have the power to be telepathic and to be able to see things that haven't happened yet, or to be able to sense things energetically, or to read people's energy, to move objects. You have the power to do these things within you. It's just that you haven't purified your vessel enough to allow that energy to enter for you to unlock that. They tried to perm her hair, but it was a wig, which for me showed how white people don't know real from fake hair, also conditioning of straightening hair as an assimilation. Absolutely. I didn't pick up on that part, but yes, yeah. Yeah, there's some funny cultural moments in there about like Goldie mentioned about them not realizing that she had a wig on. I think any black person, if they're putting their hands in your head, they're gonna be feeling like, where's we could tell the difference, right? But him not being able to realize that that was a wig. Um, yeah, and how we do, there is this obsession with wearing to change our hair to make us seem more acceptable. Yeah, the hair care is giving cancer. Yes. And I'm so glad there's more of a movement to natural hair products, but also be mindful of who is really producing. If Johnson and Johnson is making your natural hair products, I would not utilize it. I would not. I would not. So just because it says natural on there, read the ingredients. Read the ingredients. If you don't feel like making it yourself, find somebody who does. This is if you care, right? Not everybody cares as much about their wellness, but if you are interested in this brighter world that we're moving into, if you're interested in healing your traumas and liberating your soul and seeing what it's like when you finally get out of your own way and you just allow yourself to embody all of the energy of the universe and see what comes about it, if you're on that kick, then you want to see what you can do to eliminate the toxins that are coming in. Goldie said also Gray Matter is a good movie too. Black woman with telepathic powers. Absolutely. And speaking of gray matter, right? These are the things that are being impacted. Our gray matter is what's gonna it's all those communications and connections, and is how we interpreted the world. We have a degeneration of our gray matter. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about white matter, but both, right? When you've experienced a lot of trauma and stress, your brain tissue degenerates, right? When you are exposed to a lot of toxins, your brain tissue degenerates. So you want to make sure that your environment is conducive to your brain health. Hey, Mira, sending you peace and love as well. Keep shining, keep thriving. Peace and love. Um, so yeah, let's take care of our brains because again, the brain is a computer system. Our whole central nervous system. We want to really prioritize the health and wellness of our central nervous system. Okay. And I don't know if they showed any violence, any scenes of like exposing ourselves to violence, but that's also something we want to eliminate, right? Stop watching the trauma TV. Stop watching people get arrested. Stop watching people get in fights. Stop watching that stuff because on a conscious and a subconscious level, it's scaring you. And when you are scared, your body is not going to function the way it would function. When you're on alert, when you're on edge, you're not going to operate in your highest form of wellness. So, although you might find it entertaining, like my father always says, go pick up a book. Okay. Go pick up a book. Okay, it's time for us to arise above those toxic traits. Toxicity is not cute. It's not cool. Let's stop normalizing it. Let's just let it go because something very powerful can happen right now, this time in existence, this moment in history. Something so amazing is on the verge of happening if enough of us wake up and reconnect to our truth, our power, our peace, our love, and we live out our purpose. Something so beautiful is going to happen in the world when we do that. Right. But what I want to warn you, and what this movie is a warning to, is that some people will not make it. Some people are not going to wake up right now. Some people are not going to watch that movie, or they're going to watch that movie and they're not going to make any changes in their life. Some people are going to watch the movie, They Clone Tyrone, and just think it's complete fantasy and go on with their lives. And that's what they're betting on. That's why they gave you that movie. They have to let you know what's happening, but they give it to you in ways to where You still won't take it seriously. But if enough of us watch that movie and take it seriously and change our lifestyles, something beautiful is going to unfold for more of us than they would like that to happen for. Your that sense of peace and financial prosperity that you've been yearning for, that sense of being seen and having your skills appreciated that you've been yearning for, that feeling of safety and comfort and having a loving relationship that you've been waiting for is on the horizon when you take yourself seriously, when you live by faith and not fear. What they showed us in this movie is not a lie. And it's an insult, a huge insult to your intelligence for them to show you exactly what they're doing to you. Well, a small portion, a very small portion of what they're doing to you. It's an extreme insult to your intelligence as a person of color. And you should be angry, you should be upset, and you should do something about it. Because if you're old enough to watch this live, you are old enough to do something about it to help save our children from this happening to them. If you're watching this live, that means you have the conscious awareness to have aligned with this energy to receive this message that it's time to step up. And even if the beautiful world that we create, we don't get to live in it, at least our children do. And they don't have to suffer the same kinds of pains that we experience, the depression, the suicidality, the getting into trouble, the making wrong decisions, the feeling alone, the self-harm, the jail time, the trauma, the pain, all the stuff that we experience. Our children do not have to go through that because all that stuff was created out of this system. And we can live outside of that system. We can raise our children outside of that system. We don't have to live in that system, and our children don't deserve to live in that system because we're too smart. And again, right now, it's a very important time in history. Things are in our favor. The way technology is moving, it is making the game board quite even. You don't even have to have skills or talents anymore to make it. And yes, we all need money. And again, that's why it's the playing field's been even because money is now available to everybody. All you got to do is just do something and do it consistently enough. Operate in your truth and do it consistently enough, and you'll be taken care of, especially if what you're doing is taking care of the people and sowing good seeds into this, whether it's comedy, whether it's hair, whether it's clothing, whatever it is, as long as what's coming from behind that is the energy of love and the energy you're sowing is good energy, right? Literally, there's a young lady on, I don't know what platform it is, but she's literally just like munching on fake things. Like she's pretending to be a NPC and she's just eating little things popping up on the screen. This woman is making millions. Okay. So this is an uncomparable time in history that we have right now. And the best thing for you to do is walk in faith, step outside of the system, tune into yourself, breathe, and open your eyes and observe the world. And if things aren't sitting right with your spirit, then be bold enough to go the other way. And yes, at times the road will be lonely. Sometimes the road will be lonely, but eventually you will find your tribe, especially now. Especially now. You go to say, oh, it was actually a documentary. Yeah. And I haven't even got to the cloning part. So I feel like they probably shut me off if I talk about that. Oh, okay. So another part. So you know they had all the signs for the missing people? I was like, what if these missing people alerts are people that they're looking for and we're helping them find, right? When we start reposting all these missing people alerts, what if we're basically they're utilizing us as a mass surveillance and we find this person that they're trying to find, but this person's trying to escape them. So this is why I've always kind of felt uneasy about posting these things because you never really know if they're real, and I don't want to be posting stuff if it's not real. If I know that person personally, then I'll post it. Otherwise, I just kind of send good faith, good energy to them. I pray for them, and their well being because again, we live in the upside down. What you believe is true is often not true, or it's not the whole truth. So, question everything. And what allows you to question everything is having vibrant energy in your body. When you got the itis because you just had some Popeyes, some uh, Captain D's, some McDonald's, or even some soul food that your mama made. If you got the itis and you were feeling sluggish after your food, that's not what it's supposed to do. Okay. We need critical thinking right now. I need you to sit back and when something's presented to you, I want you to be able to be like, I know you're telling me that the chair is blue, but I'm clearly seeing red. But everyone else is like, no, it's blue. They even done experiments where it's something obvious and everyone else is saying something different, and the person eventually they change their answer. So don't be that person. You know, recognize what is real, what is true in the world. Know how to connect to spirit, right? Which is simply just doing that, letting everything dissolve. Okay. Because you're going to be okay. You are going to be okay. It is going to require you to make decisions. And some of these decisions will be hard decisions, but trust that you have a purpose and only you can fulfill the purpose that you have in this world. And you can't let anything get in the way of your purpose, So there will be sacrifices. But again, you have to realize that this is something big. We chose, all of us who are here right now, we chose to come here at this time. We knew what was up, you know. You're built for this. I know this might seem, maybe you're going through some very harsh times right now, but trust and believe you were built for this. It's just that you need to tap into the supports. Tap into the supports that are available for you, right? Maybe you don't got nobody around you. Call on the Most High. Call on one of your ancestors. Call on your future self. Call on your cat, your dog, call on your spirit animals. Call on something because you're not alone. You're never alone. You are a cell within the body of the Most High. So you are never alone. No matter what, don't give up because you'll be angry if you left too soon. Because, like I said, a very beautiful world lies ahead of us. And it's already here. It's already here. We are already living in such a beautiful world. And it's going to continue to get better as we see more people come into their healing, to their light, as we see new nations being built out of love, being built out of family and community and abundance, as we see, money ending up in the right hands, right, where people and generations can be cared for and taken care of, and all that money is fueled into things that are good and of God, of the Most High. So we are in some very beautiful times. It's just make sure that you are on the side of conscious awakening. No longer playing victim. No longer playing victim. I don't care what traumas you have. I validate you in your pain, and I wish you have never went through the painful things that you have had to endure. But I urge you to realize you have a choice. You have a choice to let that pain stop you or let that pain fuel you. Alchemize that pain into purpose, into power, into peace. Either way, you got the pain. It's already there. You can't do nothing about it. It's there. Okay. How are you going to utilize that pain? And I guarantee you, you will be so much happier if you allow that pain to propel you forward. If you allow that pain to take you deep within yourself until you are energy to energy, reconnected to source, to love, to peace. Allow that pain to make you look at yourself in totality and realize as you are in totality, you are acceptable. You are enough. You are enough. And give yourself permission to live the beautiful life you deserve. And know that every single day it's going to be a learning day. Some days are going to be easier than others, but every day is an experience. Every day is an opportunity to experience this life, to experience this life from the lens of love. From that lens, it is magic. This world is so magical when we move through it through the lens of love. It becomes a hell when we move through it through a lens of fear. And that's what the system has taught us, is to look at the world from a lens of fear. And I want you to take those off and keep them off. And when they try to slide back on, allow spirit in through your breath. Allow spirit to reconnect with you. And now let that be the lens at which you view this world. And it's a completely different life. It's a beautiful life, no matter what. So that's almost an hour long of a live. Any other questions or comments? So like I said, oh, I didn't even scroll down. My bad, y'all. My bad. My bad. Okay. Yes, this is crazy because AI is becoming us and we trying to be AI. Exactly. Okay, it's merging. Okay. One thing I will say, AI is amazing. So amazing. AI is us. Okay. Um, we are intelligent beings. The same way you go to AI, you prompt it, you say blah, 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 blah. It spits out an answer. Go within yourself. Show me what love is. Help me to get the answer to this. Let me create a song lyric. We can do all these things. We have access to infinite knowledge within us. Okay. So don't let AI become your God. It's amazing. Definitely utilize it. Again, it's that thing that's going to be a catalyst in your financials. Okay. But don't stop being creative because you're utilizing it. So still take moments to separate from it. Think of your own book chapters, right? Think of your own logos, right? Utilize it, but don't let it become your God. I'm watching these little ants. Okay. Um, Analyzing journaling and my radical nature is going into nature more. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Analyze what you see. Write down your feelings. Understand your emotions in this world and spend more time in nature. Oh, wow. I just turned on this movie on 12 minutes ago. Should I turn it off? Sorry to see your comment, Monique. Go ahead and watch it. Go ahead and watch it. Goldie told you to watch it. Yes, go ahead and watch it. Yes, definitely enjoy the movie. Yeah, so we were talking about the movie They Clone Tyrone, breaking down some of the things in there. Yes, okay, so the point I was about to make was that ultimately, y'all, What they showed you in that movie is one of the reasons why I left America to live my life here in Tanzania. And here in Tanzania, I've discovered a lifestyle of peace, of prosperity, of an abundance of time, natural resources, great people, beautiful geography, right? And out of that, it's giving me time and space for my own healing, evolution, and activation. And it's been great. Okay. It's been great. It's given me time to work on my passion projects and my dreams. Living here has been a beautiful blessing. So if you what you're experiencing in your life is not a beautiful blessing, and it's potentially because the environment of America is doing more oppression of your physical well-being, your mental well-being, and your spiritual well-being, then consider going on vacation, getting out of the States, and exploring other places that you could live. More and more people are leaving America. You don't want to be trying to leave and not be able to. And I'm not saying that to scare you, but it's a reality. There's times where they're grounding flights. Okay, um, look at China. You all see the social system they have there, right? And they display it. They observe your behaviors. They give you the social credit score, and they publicly shame people. If you have a low score, they're going to have your picture displayed. They incentivize people for telling on each other. I don't think America's too far off from this, right? So before all the rights you have get revoked, on top of the fact that they're poisoning the food, the water, the media lines, the skies, the children, besides that part, okay, all the other reasons. Um, I forgot what I was making. And I'm laughing just because it's just like, dang, like these people are diabolical. And we've known that these people are diabolical. We've seen the things that they did to slaves, and again, or not again, but I will reiterate that it's not just a racial thing. Yes, there's definitely people of color being targeted for a reason, but I'm speaking to everybody. The What America is doing is not pro-life of the human being, right? Our children are killing themselves at an increasing rate. Our children are popping pills and smoking vapes and having anxiety and depression at alarming rates. People are walking into schools and shooting up babies, right? There's something very wrong with this nation, okay? It's insane. Like I said, it's in the upside down, and it's no coincidence that you have anxiety, depression, trauma, chronic health conditions. It's all because of the system of America. That is the only thing to blame. For America to be so developed, right? People should not be experiencing as much illness and sickness as what they are. The whole point of having a developed nation, all this technology, is to keep the people well, but they're not invested in keeping you well. And I hope that is very clear to you, right? And if you care about your wellness, and if you care about the wellness of your children, I want you to consider what options are out there. Whether it's moving out of the city onto a homestead, okay, it's better. But if it's leaving America and that's what your spirit is calling you to do, I just want to give you the love and encouragement to do so. If you need assistance, let me know. DM me. If I don't know the place you're trying to move, I can point you in the direction of, because a lot of people are leaving the States. I follow a lot of financial YouTubes. Everybody, all these financial gurus and millionaires, billionaires, they're all moving their money to offshore accounts. They're finding places to live. Even Bill Gates has an island just off the coast here. Okay. He's got his island over here for a reason. So I just encourage you all to allow that third eye to turn on, allow that higher intelligence, that higher order cognitive abilities, that higher self, the spirit to turn on and notice the world that you're living in. And ask yourself, is this place really for my sanity and my wellness? And is it for the sanity and the wellness of my children? Or is there clearly something wrong? Now, for those who choose to stay in the States, if that's what Spirit is calling you to do, then just be prepared. Have your generators just in case they decide that a certain neighborhood ain't getting power right now because they have the ability to do so. Know how to grow your own foods or know what farmer to connect to. Know your local farmer just in case the stores are shut down or they're not distributing. We've seen these things happen before. And if you're really paying attention, a lot of these financial people are letting you know that something big is coming. They're letting you know that something big is coming. People who know these corporate jobs, they've changed the way they're hiring because something big is coming. The recession is coming. Possibly this war that we're already in might get worse. I don't know about that part, but all I know is the financial part, right? And the potential for grids to go down. I have a friend who works within the power grids. He's been telling me some stuff. So, backup power supplies, solar power. If you're going to stay in America, just be prepared. Have some food stocked up. Have security cameras. Have your own self defense. Some dogs, some guns. And again, I'm not saying this to scare anybody, but I'm just letting you know to be prepared because y'all have seen riots before, right? Y'all have seen entire cities shut down. You've seen cities get flooded out and people not have access to care. You've seen all the power go out and stay off in places. You've seen all these things before. You've seen illnesses, viruses, and all these things. You've seen all these things before. It's expected to happen again and in a major way. Okay? So just be prepared for that wherever you are. Trust your spirit, wherever your spirit tells you to be. Trust your spirit. You will be okay, but prepare yourself. Connect yourself with community. Know who's the doctor. Know who's the carpenter. Know who's the farmer, right? Know who's the medicine woman. Who's the teacher. Know these people in your community. So that way, when you guys need to band together, you know who to connect to. Right. And most importantly, just really keep working on your spiritual development. So that way you can know how to move. You can know how to navigate the territory because you're letting spirit and faith guide you and not sight. Because we've been very confused when it comes to sight. Like I said, many of us, when we think about God, we think about a white man in the sky, an old white man in the sky. Okay. So we cannot let sight lead us. Hey, best friend. We cannot let sight lead us. We have to be led by faith. So if spirit is telling you that you need to leave America, and I don't know the timeline on all these things happening, but I will say right now, there are banks and millionaires in America who are moving their money offshore. Yes. Because some people are attributing it to student loans. Some people are attributing this upcoming recession to the shifting of the dollar, right? You already see that all these other countries outside of America are no longer aligning with America. America is no longer on this pedestal of power. They're trying to stay there, but they're not. The power, I personally think, is in the east side of the world, China and Africa. So while we are going through this transition of power, certain empires are going to fall and some are going to grow. And while if you are in that empire that is falling, you need to be prepared to withstand that. So that way, when it falls, you can cash in, right? This is a lot of people become millionaires out of recessions because they wait for the market to fall. They have some money reserved. They go in and buy up everything while the prices are low because they know the natural thing is for it to go up again. So that's an option for making money during this upcoming recession. My friend said, "Hey, friend, and so powerful family. I'm getting my shit together and I'm coming to Africa." Yes. Yes, best friend, I need you here. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I'm already thinking about slick stuff for us to do here. Um, but yeah, it's a serious matter. It's a very serious matter, because every day that passes is another opportunity to succumb to that system. So just dedicate each day to your spiritual development, and you'll know what moves you're supposed to make. You'll know how to call on protection and feel that sense of protection. That way, you're not operating from a scared mind, you're operating from a clear mind. Okay. So, wherever you are, I'm sending you love. Okay. And I hope that you hear and receive this message and whatever little changes you need to make in your life to be well and thrive, make those changes, even if it means that, you might have to change your environment or change some of your habits or change, your circle of people. Peace and love, y'all. We're talking about the movie They Clone Tyrone. If you have any reflections on the movie, feel free to put it in the chat. I'm gonna do a meditation, but I'm gonna do it only on YouTube, okay? Because that's where I want y'all to meet me at. So I'm gonna hop off of Instagram and continue on YouTube. So y'all meet me over there, okay? It's SOL Powerful on YouTube. So meet me over there, and we'll do the meditation before I close out for the night. Um, but yeah, yeah. So I know that some people's circumstances might not provide them with as much opportunity for changing their life. But the one thing that you all can do is breathe and meditate. Because when you do that, you'll connect to your higher self. You'll connect to guidance. You'll connect to source. And you'll get the direction you need. So that way you're not being misled by the media. You're not being misled by your family. You're not being misled by your best friend. You know, people might care about you so much, and from their perspective, they may be giving you the best advice, but it might not be for you. We have individual paths, and you have to trust your path. And the way to know what your personal path is having that direct connection to source, letting go of the fear that's blocking that connection, connecting to the energy of just being present and being calm, being grounded. Okay. I see y'all coming over. Okay, keep coming over to YouTube. Keep coming over to YouTube. I'm about to switch off of Instagram and we're going to go into the meditation on YouTube. So if you're on here, I'm about to close it off and we'll get into the meditation. But yes, so go ahead and watch the movie if you haven't already. If you have watched it, go watch it again and have some conversations with your family about this movie. Okay. See where people's minds are at. Don't get into no fights. Okay. Because again, sometimes our parents In other generations, they might not get it. Sometimes the younger generations, no matter what age you are, but don't let this movie cause division, but let it be a wake up call that what they cited in this movie, I'm trying to think if anything was false. Okay. I'm trying to remember what aspects of the movie were false. Okay. But there was just a lot of truth in this movie. Don't see it as fantasy. Don't see it as entertainment. Like Goldie said, somebody called this a documentary. Okay. But they will present it to you as in fantasy so that way you don't take action. But everything you saw in there is a reflection of what is true. There's a systematic agenda to destroy you or to oppress you, so that way you can stay a part of that system and keep it going. Right, not destroy you because they need some bodies, to keep their thing going, but to oppress you. And we did not come here to be oppressed. Peace and love, y'all. Keep coming over to YouTube. Um, But yeah, we didn't come here to be oppressed. We came here to experience this heaven on earth as source. So signing off Instagram, hop over to YouTube, So Powerful, and catch the end of this live and our meditation. Okay. Peace and love, y'all. Let me know if y'all are able to put in the chat your thoughts so far on the live. Oops. Your thoughts so far on the live about the movie. Okay. Yes, let me know. Let me know what y'all think. So, once again, universe is literally gonna make sure you're okay. I need to go see the movie. I have not seen it. It's on Netflix. It's Netflix on Netflix. So go ahead. Peace and love, Slick. Peace and love, Goldie. Go on to Netflix and you will find it. Asante, thank you for helping me, Goldie. Thank you for helping me break that down. Yes, definitely watch it. There's some other stuff I need to watch too, and I'm gonna break down too. But right now, when it comes, and this is the only reason I go to the movies nowadays or watch movies nowadays, is because I'm watching for the predictive programming. I'm watching to see what do they want us to believe right now. Okay. What are they exposing to us? Because again, they expose everything to us before it happens. There was movies about the pandemics. There was movies about the chemical spills. There was all these movies about things. Okay. So they show us in the movies, and that's why I watch these movies. So watch everything with a critical eye. All right. Peace and love, y'all. See y'all coming in. Peace and love. So if any other comments about the movies, feel free to drop them. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get into our meditation activation. And I want y'all to listen. When we do this meditation, I want you to hear your breath. Okay. I want you to really tune in. I'm grateful for it too. I'm grateful, so grateful for it. As we meditate, tune into your breath. I want you to hear yourself. I want you to hear your sound as you breathe. I want you to hear that spirit of breath. Okay. And as you breathe, if you feel called to make different sounds, like right, whatever sounds flow for you, let them flow as you breathe, as you ground yourself. The goal is to allow the worries, the thoughts, beliefs to dissolve and keep moving towards deeper levels of ease and relaxation and letting go of it all. Disconnect and allow yourself to float down within yourself. You'll relax the body, you'll relax the mind, and whenever you get distracted and begin to think again, you'll just simply command yourself to be relaxed. Okay. So go ahead and get yourself in a comfortable position. You can place your palms on your knees, palms up if you're ready to receive, palms down if you are looking to be grounded. And in this moment, I want you to take a deep breath in and release it out. Feel the sense of ease. Maybe this is your first deep breath of the day. But just take those deep breaths, breathing in nice and deep. Breath in through the nose and then out of the mouth. Settling down deep within yourself with each breath. Acknowledging that you are protected in this space. Acknowledging that you've made it to this moment. Take a deep breath in. And then as you release, command yourself to relax. Loosen the muscles in your eyes and your shoulders, but keeping that chest nice and open. Letting everything relax, your jaw, your forehead, your eyes, your ears, your shoulders, your hands, your feet. Everything's at ease as we take another deep breath in and releasing it out. We allow the breath to carry with it things that we want to no longer have in our being. And this meditation will allow the breath to cleanse us of energies and influences that we no longer desire. We allow the breath to come in, and as it goes out, we release the energy of fear, letting that energy of fear leave your being. Let's take another deep breath in, repeating that process, breathing in nice and deep. And any fear that may be left over deep in those corners, go ahead and bring it out and let it exit your being. And in that space, we feel this energy of confidence beginning to fill in. You see this light of confidence filling in that space where that fear left. And this time, we're going to release any guilt that no longer serves us. I want you to take a deep breath in, noticing where that guilt is. And then as you release, letting the guilt exit your body. Feeling lighter, feeling worthy. Let's go back in and see if there's any more guilt. Notice where it is in the body, any specks, any of those deep memories. Let's take a deep breath in. Past timelines, past ages, and letting go, removing all the guilt from this timeline and all the other timelines. Filling that space with worthiness. Filling that space with worthiness. And now we're going to address the energy of lack that's been taught to us and misled us. Notice where that energy of lack is and how it feels and what it's done to you in your life. The financial fears, the love fears, all the ways that lack has limited you in your life and kept you from walking in faith. Take a deep breath in. Let's release that lack. And then as you exhale, see that energy of lack leaving your body and abundance comes in and fills that space. Feeling full of this abundance. feeling infinite and expansive with this energy of abundance within us. If there's any other lack, let's go ahead and clear it out on this breath, breathing in nice and deep, finding it in those other timelines, those other ages, and letting it go, letting the breath carry it out and filling it with more abundance, more prosperity, feeling that energy and just noticing how your energetic body being feels more expanded, feels more whole, feels more alive. We can just allow ourselves to just circulate this energy. Maybe you notice a golden light or a bright light circulating around your being, moving as you breathe, bringing light and love to all the spaces of your body being, of your energetic body, of your mental body. Feeling the activation, feeling the renewal. Just keep coming back to your breath. And now I want you to visualize yourself, your ultimate self, your fully aligned self, the version of you that is a full, authentic expression of love, of peace, of the creator, of source. See that being and how they move, how they speak, how they sound, how they dress, where they are, who they're with. See yourself in this form of yourself, unlimited, fully aligned with abundance and peace and safety and gratitude and support and connection. See yourself aligned with the truth of who you are and see yourself how you move. See the emotions that you experience in this form and allow those emotions to fill you. Breathing in nice and deep. Feeling gratitude and appreciation for this life, for who we are, for who we are becoming as we let it go. Giving thanks to the Most High, giving thanks to all those who are assisting us in our journey of life. Beginning to come back into our bodies, we'll close out our meditation, bringing all that we've known, all that we've learned, all that we've gained, and integrating it into our being with these 3 breaths, feeling more awake with each breath. Take a deep breath in. More awake, more ready to return to the moment, to return to the day. Take another deep breath in. Feeling whole, feeling present, beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And take our final deep breath in. Coming back into our body, take a deep breath. And then as you release, bringing those palms together, those 2 worlds together, to remind us of the duality that is within us and finding harmony and balance, reminding us that our beliefs create our realities and our thoughts create our beliefs. So when we think things of positivity and we allow only positive things and things of wellness and balance to our minds, those beliefs will create a beautiful balanced reality for us, bringing our palms down to our lips, reminding us that our words are commandments. So we will only cast positivity and power over ourselves and others through our words, inside and outside. And finally, bringing our palms down to our heart, reminding us that it all starts and ends with love. You are love. Be love. Everything is love. Tap into it, feel it, sense that you are worthy. You are everything. Ashe. Namaste. Asante. All right, y'all. Thank you for hanging on. Let me know if you have any last minute thoughts or reflections. Okay. Again, go watch the movie if you haven't already. And if you're gonna watch it again, watch it again. Okay. I identified new things when I watched it. But it is a great work of art that is Not just a work of art, but it is a warning. It is the whistleblower. So treat it as a whistleblower and make sure you're not getting got. Okay. So, uh, absolutely, Fred. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes, yes, yes. So, be sure to turn on the notifications, right? Look for the likes, look for the shares, turn on the notifications. If you're on Instagram, the whole live is on here. If you need to share this live with people you love, share it on your Facebook. Let's grow this channel so that way we can make sure we're getting access to all this good information. We're creating a community of empowerment and peace. Okay. Um, if you want to join us in our private meditation group on Saturday, visit drmakita.com/soul to join the Soul Powerful Wellness Collective. If you're interested in meeting me live, okay, and traveling to the beautiful continent of Africa and to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and maybe even Ghana if I decide to host a retreat in December. But if you are interested in doing so, if you're interested in discovering the power of plant medicine, feel free to visit at to you for you soul retreat on Instagram, or you can just DM me. I can direct you to that. I'm hosting this retreat, co-hosting this retreat in October, October 2nd through the 9th here in Dar es Salaam. So come check us out if you are interested in that. Otherwise, I am sending you all peace, love, and light upon your life. We got this. We get to live in this beautiful world. I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful to share this world with you. Like I said, the light within me sees and honors the light within you. The God within me sees and honors the God within you. Namaste. Peace, y'all.